Hello. So, we have started a farm, just a little homestead on a quarter acre here in Hillsboro, Oregon. And we've got some quail, some chickens, several spots for vegetable gardening. Anyway, we had a baby chicken pass last week. We replaced it thanks to the folks at Wilco who were really kind and worked with us. Today, I come out to the barn. I call it the barn. It's the garage. And I see in one of my pens that two of my quail are bloodied. One of them has some marks on her head and her beak. And then this one is pretty tore up on its neck. I tried to sex them, but these birds are just about 7 weeks. So some of them are becoming sexually mature, and I can hear a couple of roosters that crow every now and then. But, I don't know if this one is a rooster or a hen, or if the other one that got injured is a rooster or a hen. The other one that got injured is in a cat carrier right now. It's got some food and water, and I think it'll heal fine. It's missing some feathers, and it just looks like a scratch on its head, really. And it had a bloodied beak, probably from fighting this one. Or in that same pen, there's a very aggressive male that has sexually matured and was fighting this not mature male. There's a couple things I could do. I could take it to a vet. Be very expensive for a bird I paid like $2 for. We could find a little bin for it to live in for a while and see if it gets better. I'm worried. It's quite an open wound, and it's pretty large for the size of the bird. I'd say the wound is probably about the size of my fingernail, which is hard to see on this bird, but I mean, that's like its whole side of its neck right there. I'm sure that it's in pain, and because it got separated out from its pen, it's just been in a box all day, so it's quite stressed. So before it gets infected, before it dies of being sick or stressed out, I decided to cull it. That means that I'm going to put the bird down as humanely as possible, and then we are going to get it prepped and ready to be put in a freezer bag and stored for later consumption. My experience with this is I have worked on some farms in the past, and you're thirsty?
Yeah.
Can I get you a glass of water in a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. And we're back. So my experience with this is that my whole life, my mom, my grandmother have kept chickens. My dad kept chickens. I worked on a farm in Montana, 2012-13. A couple of farms, actually. And one of our big projects was the chicken processing. I went back several years to that farm and helped in the chicken processing over the years, which was basically taking, the hundreds of fryer birds that they had and culling them and getting them ready to sell at market. So I've read some things that you can just, pop the quail's heads off. I'm not too keen on that. I went and got my nice pair of culinary scissors. I used a honer just to kind of get any nicks and anything off of the blade so that it will cut quick and fast. I'm not going to show I'm not going to show that part on the video because I don't think it's necessary to show it, and you know, if something goes wrong. So we'll pause here, and then this will be my first attempt at butchering a quail, so I'll take the head off, let the blood drain, and then I'll restart the video. Okay, so we removed the bird's head. It was, my scissors were very sharp, they did the job. Now I'm gonna cut the legs off. There's like this, like the knee maybe. I'm gonna cut right above that and remove the feet. Quail are very small, their bones are pretty small, they're very fragile. They're not like a chicken. Sometimes cutting through a chicken bone can be pretty difficult to do. I'm going to cut the wings off of the bird. Right. So here's the wing. I'm going to cut it off at the shoulder. I'm doing this into a bucket and not just on the ground because I don't want to invite predators to my property. I have a dog, and I also have a very large and territorial cat, and for the most part we haven't seen skunks, raccoons, coyotes, all things that do live in the Portland area, and I guess I'm grateful that we haven't had any issues with that, and I just don't want to risk it. So okay, so the next thing that I've heard is that these guys are very easy to skin. I can see right here at the top of the neck there's a little pocket where the skin is separating a bit, and I should be able to just cut that or peel that. Let's see if I can just peel that back across the bird here. One of the nice things about quail that I think is really interesting is you don't have to defeather them the way that you would a chicken. When you peel off the skin here, all the feathers remain on the skin, and then you just have like the meat of the bird, which I think is pretty freaking cool. I will save all of these after I get this guy all butchered. I will take the bones here, the wings, the feathers, all of this, the head, and it will all go into a bag and go into the freezer. If you've ever gotten organic fertilizer from the store, you'll read that it's made of meal, bone meal, and feather meal, and usually poultry waste, poops. So we'll save it. I'll keep it in the freezer, and then sometime when I have time, when it's hotter, we'll lay it out. During the day, we'll lay it all out. It'll all dry, and then we'll grind it. We'll grind it up, and we'll make our own meal, our own fertilizer. So this bit that's stuck on the back, that's still a bunch of feathers, this is the vent, and we don't want any of that, so cut that off. Hopefully I didn't cut it too short there. We still have the neck and all the organs and everything inside, and we want, when we go to cook it, we don't want to have any of the organs. So let's see, this is the breastbone, this is the spine. I'm gonna cut this here. pretty small birds. So you compare it to like a game hen. If you were going to cook this and eat this for dinner, you'd probably do one whole bird per person, maybe even two, depending. And then some of these muscles and things are still twitching, which is weird and I hate it. But anyway, so I've cut along both sides of the spine here. Neat little anatomy lesson. I can see the esophagus, I can see the spine, pull out the spine, and most of the organs. These are the lungs here. They're super bright colored. I can hear my dog at the door, but I don't want him messing with this stuff. Pull out all the organs, the crop, the liver, the heart. There's a bit of fattiness near the back of the intestines. And let's see, we've got a little clump of feathers right here that I want to cut off at the neck. And then this sucker just needs to be washed. That was, man, maybe a 5-minute process or so for one bird. Not bad, and they're nice and small. You could stuff that and bake it up. Be probably about the size of a chicken thigh for you. Thanks for going on that journey with me. Hopefully it wasn't too traumatizing for me or you. Part of having a farm, living on a farm, doing farm stuff. And I learned some things. I saw some things. I hopefully will get better at that as time goes on. Hopefully I don't have to do it too often, and my my other cages don't have competing males in them. This one was just a little bit behind sexually, immature, so I hadn't been able to sex it yet. But the birds know, and it was unfortunate we had to say goodbye to him, but make a tasty little meal. So, goodbye forever.